guys, Girl About Library, and I am here with some books that I think you should check out in October. There are 7 books that are coming out this month that I think sound awesome. They're definitely books that I hope to check out from the library. Maybe not going to be able to get to them in October, but definitely priority. Here we go. So I had to do this one first because it is the book that I am most excited for coming out this month, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. Like, I cannot even with how excited I am for this book. I unapologetically love John Green. I think he is amazing. I love the voice that he writes in. I don't care if the things that the characters are saying are completely unreasonable for someone that age to be saying. I love it. I love it. They make me teary and feel warm and comforted and understood, and I just love his books. Turtles All the Way Down is a fiction YA novel that follows 16-year-old Asa. She and her best friend Daisy attempt to solve a mystery. A billionaire, possibly billionaire, went missing, and Asa knows his son, and so through her connection to him, they tried to hunt down this millionaire. But that story to me is just kind of the backdrop to Asa, and it sounds like Asa is just a really good person. She tries to be a really good student, a really good friend, and she's also living with these ever-tightening feelings of anxiety. She's stuck in this spiral of her own thoughts. And that's kind of why this book is one I'm so excited to read. Her particular type of anxiety really seems to focus on health-related issues. I also have a lot of health-related anxiety issues. A girl on the internet talking about her anxiety issues, well, but leaving it at that, this book means a lot to me, and I'm so excited to read it. I will be at the door when it releases. I'll leave a link below to John Green reading the first chapter of Turtles All the Way Down, because Asa describing her familiarity with Mayo Clinic's page on C. diff is life. It was perfectly described, and it was just so accurate into what it is like to have a health-related anxiety. It's going to be a good reading month for this book alone. I'm so excited. But I'm also excited for these 6 other books. First up is Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan. This book is set in Brooklyn during the Great Depression, so good old historical fiction. The main character in this book starts off as a young girl when she accompanies her father to the house of a man who she kind of can tell from her young girl impressions that this older man has a huge impact on her family and her father in particular. And she observes some sort of secret pact between her father and this man. Years later, her father has disappeared and World War II is going on. Anna works at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. She is a female diver and she dives down to repair ships. She's the main character. I don't know if I mentioned her name earlier. While she's working at the Navy Yard, she has a job that was previously only allowed for men to have, but because World War II is going on, women were able to take jobs that previously they couldn't hold. One night, she goes to a nightclub and she meets a man named Styles, who she realizes was the man who she saw as a young girl, the house that she went to, that mysterious connection with her father. I think she has an opportunity to get to know Styles and kind of try to piece together where her father has disappeared to, and just kind of the complexities of her father's life that she was not aware of previously. I'm interested in this book for a couple of reasons. One, it is historical fiction, which I'm a total sucker for. 2, it has family drama in it, also a sucker for that. And I'm really interested to see what this relationship was between her father and this guy. The plot seems pretty simple, so it seems like there's probably a lot of character development in this book, and I think it'll be interesting to see that dynamic as a woman holds a job that was typically only allowed for men to have. So Jennifer Egan is a respected author, and I haven't read a book of hers in a long time, so I will definitely keep an eye out for this one. Next up is The Stolen Marriage by Diane Chamberlain. More historical fiction, although I'm not entirely sure what year this book is set in. There's a polio epidemic, but I'm not 100% sure. This book follows Tess. She is the main character, and she had a long engagement to a guy, but she breaks off that engagement and ends up marrying another man. A mysterious stranger is what it says. She moves to a small town with her new husband, and when she gets there, she realizes her new husband has a lot of secrets. There's a lot of things about his life in this new town that she doesn't really understand. But the people of the town seem to really like him. However, the people who live there don't seem to like her. And so she wonders, what does everyone in this town know about her husband that she doesn't? Tess used to be a nurse, and so when the polio epidemic hits the small town, they rely upon her to help them survive. While all of that is going on, it seems like her husband's mysterious activities just get stranger and stranger. This book is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One, I don't know very much about the polio epidemic, clearly. Also, wow, what? Why would you marry someone who you know so little about? Is it like an arranged marriage? Did she not feel like she had a choice? Why did she break off her engagement to the guy who she'd been engaged to for a long time? He seems like he might have been a winner. And why is he so mysterious? What are his secrets? I'm gonna have to read it, find out. Next up is Strange Weather by Joe Hill. This book is actually 4 different novellas, and they all seem pretty creepy. One is called Snapshot, and it's about this teenager who is haunted by this guy who has a Polaroid camera, and the camera can like erase memories somehow. There's another one called Rain, where there's like this apocalypse where nails just like rain down. I've been wanting to read a Joe Hill book, but his books are super long. And so I think this book will be a really good opportunity for me to only read like maybe a 1/4 of it, but still get a peek at Joe Hill's writing to decide whether I want to invest the time in one of his longer books. Next up is Odd Child Out by Lily Macmillan. This book is about 2 best friends who are inseparable, but one of those teenage boys is found dead floating in a river, and the other boy can't or won't tell the authorities what happened to his best friend. It sounds like this book also has like shifting perspectives, and so one of the perspectives is going to be that of the detective who is investigating the case. This book also deals with some like social and racial tensions because the character who is killed is British, and the character who he was best friends with is Somalian. And it says, against this backdrop of fear and fury, 2 families fight for their sons and for the truth. Neither of them know how far they will have to go, what demons they will have to face, and what pain they will have to suffer. I love mysteries, I love thrillers. I just have a lot of questions after reading the synopsis, like there's obviously something going on there. Like at one point in the description it says that it was just a simple prank that's gone wrong, but in another part of the description of the book it sounds a little bit like seedier and darker than that. So it sounds like this book has just like a lot to offer, and it's definitely one I want to check out. Next up is 7 Days of Us by Francesca Hornak. It's a book that's set at Christmas, and it is about a family who is trapped underneath a roof together. Well, not underneath them, but like for the first time in a long time, this family is able to spend Christmas together. One of the daughters is recently back from a mission overseas. I think she might work in the medical field, because when she comes back, she is under quarantine, which means everyone else in the house is also. Each of the characters has their own secrets and struggle with being stuck in the house with their family, but because they're all in close proximity like that, obviously not that much can be stayed hidden for that long. I am a huge sucker for family dramas. I'm also a sucker for books that are set at Christmas, which I'm kind of already in the mood for. This one in particular though is interesting to me because of the setup, which could be like a make or break thing for me. The daughter, did the daughter know when she showed up at her family's house that she needed to be under quarantine? Or does she find out? She must find out once she gets there. But then I'm like, man, all the people who are on the plane with her coming back now also have to be under quarantine. Like, this book bothers my health anxiety issues that we talked about earlier. Last but not least is The 57 Bus by Dashka Slater. This is a nonfiction book, but I think it's also YA. And it follows what happened in 2013 when an agender teenager skirt lit on fire by a black classmate on the bus. The 57 Bus is written by a journalist who first started reporting on the event, and so she's very familiar with both what happened and also the people who are involved. The 57 Bus also sounds like it covers a wide range of topics, which is one of the reasons I am very interested in reading it. The black teenager who lit the agender teenager's skirt on fire was charged with a hate crime, and I don't know that much about hate crime legislation, so I'm interested to read the book for that. But also, just like the small part of the interview that I read was fascinating. There's definitely like a gambit of issues that are going to be covered in this book, and I'm excited to check it out. So those are the books that I think you should check out in October. It's going to be a good one. It is a good month for reading. There are tons of books that I'm excited about. One in particular, obviously. Let me know below what books you are excited about. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more bookish content. Thanks so much for watching.